This is Morten from INKISH TV, and actually I'm looking forward to this interview. I was told to keep it short, and I will try. But last year I got the pleasure of meeting Maggie from RISO the very first time, and we had the opportunity and the pleasure to meet over a drink in Zurich.
Yes.
That was super nice. And I just wanted to tell that because Maggie is working for RISO, and the reason why we're talking to her is because of RISO, but also because the relationship and the partnership that RISO and Maggie has with Marianne and Solimar, right? We're here at Printing United. I'm just wondering, I mean, you're a big Japanese company operating out of America. How important is it to have, let's say, partners like Solimar?
It's hugely important for us. I think the industry as a whole in production print has turned into such a, I want to say one hand washes the other, right? And people think often that, you sell a printer, that's all you're concerned about. I've never been concerned about that solely. I've always been concerned about pre-press. I've always been concerned about workflow. And then most importantly to my customers in the US, what happens after you print it, right? How accurate is the reading on your barcode, the barcode reading and on inserters. So I think it's much more of a sort of holistic, all-inclusive concept, and Solimar has been hugely important to us on that.
I can't help thinking about it. I think actually we spoke about it when we met at the Home Innovation Days, and that was like, you can have a press that is so fast, like the RISO machines, but if the files are not ripped in the right way because the files are wrong or faulty or not accurate, then the press will be sped down and basically be slower, right? I mean, that also means that has an effect on the productivity for your customer. Is that something that is easy to sell, or do people don't believe that, or?
Well, no, I think we live in a world where the person who creates the file thinks the file is perfect, and then you try to run it in a production environment, and people have SLAs, and you can have, just like you said, you can have the fastest printer in the world, but if you can't make that file work efficiently on your printer, then you're not anywhere.
And sorry to interrupt, but I mean, you have actually one of the fastest inkjet printers in the world, right?
Yes, the printer I'm standing behind is called the Valisys T2200. It's 330 images a minute, full duplex. RISO built this box purely for transactional. We've been really, really successful with it. And our whole goal is to make sure that whatever you're putting in the mail is getting in the mail quickly. You're not going to get dinged on SLAs. So we created a very fast box, but we also added a very, very powerful RIP called the Tag G Alpha Stream RIP. And we've just really seen tremendous results here in the US.
I know that we're going to do this short, but I can't help think because I'm curious. I was just thinking that if I look at the print samples you have behind, obviously statements, but you also have and I think that sometimes I feel a little bit that also maybe a little bit yourself is underestimating the quality of what you're doing, right? Because I mean, for textbooks and for the teaching materials and school materials, this is a very capable printing technology, right? I mean, cheap inkjet, relatively good high quality. I mean, it's actually high quality for being on an uncoated paper. I mean, why is it the transactional market? Is that let's say the most important part of your business, or? I mean, I'm asking you because I'm curious about where do you get where do you place these machines? Because
truth be told, we did build this box for transactional. We took our single engine inkjet unit, which was very, very successful, very reliable, and we looked at it and we realized we actually looked at where we were selling these boxes, and we are selling them to places that are doing very large amounts of volume in a transactional space. That space could be health insurance, it could be billing, it could be financial. And so for us, it just made sense for us to look at adding more paper capacity, making sure that we had a RIP that could process these files that were somewhat troublesome, and we've been really successful with it. So we're very, very happy. But we're not looking to box out any other market.
Okay. I was just wondering if that was the case, but you're not. That's not the case. Okay.
No, in more instances, when you look at an education customer, when you look at maybe a religious customer, when you look at a corporate customer, RISO has a lineup of 7 inkjet printers. We will have a fit for you no matter where you need to be.
Yeah. And I think that's a good strategic position to be in, right? Because I mean, when you look at also the competition, I mean, they have one printer that is really capable of a specific segment in the market, but I mean, you have a range of products, right? And I think that Of course, I have no idea about the cost of the machines, but I think that you have always also been recognized for having high quality, fast speed, affordable operational cost, affordable acquisition cost. I mean, it must be wonderful for you to have this technology available in a market that still relies so much on, let's say, on transactional data, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I always say to customers, if you need it to look better, we can make it look better. But when you're looking at timelines, you're looking at SLAs, you're looking at getting stuff into the mail, again, for us, speed is very, very important. And when you have that conversation with a customer, and I often do, they'll say, well, maybe that's not as important, right? We also, Morten, we sit in environments where we sit next to every other major vendor. They have a high quality box. They have a box that can do micro. They have boxes that can, we are often referred to as a niche product, but I like to say that we're more flexible than we are.
That's a good one, yeah.
Unique,
yeah.
Right? So.
And when I mean, we only got to know each other last year, and I have always seen RISO when I've been at trade shows, but as I didn't know anybody from RISO, it has always been like a little bit, curious about where in the market you fit. We met at also in Florida, and we met in different places, and I just see that the technology that you provide has actually the flexibility you talk about. Because I mean, obviously, if you need to have, let's say, the highest quality on, let's say, coated paper, and there's options. That's just not RISO, but you kind of picked your hotspot, right? I mean.
Well, I always talk about the fact that we built a very good engine from the beginning, and we were in development on this on these engines in the 1990s. I joined RISO in 1999, and we launched our first machine 2 years after I joined. And I've just watched us get better and better and better. We add accessories, we add partnerships like Solimar. We're looking to really sort of fit in where we need to fit in. And it's based on the customer, it's not based on us. We will never say we need to be there, we're the best, we only do this. We want to be in an environment where we're a great option, and more importantly, we want to be referred to as a very reliable machine. We want to reduce daily operational costs. Our focus is on what our customer needs. We're going to try to plug in anywhere that needs to happen.
When I also in Zurich was listening to both you and Marianne, right, from Solimar, I felt that you are actually delivering on that promise.
Oh, that's great to hear. Yeah, I think we have made leaps and bounds, and I'm really excited about the future. And it's been just so enjoyable meeting people like yourself. And the great thing about this industry is that you keep learning. You have to keep learning.
I had a few great interviews here from your booth, and I said to every one of them, I said, I'm so thankful because I learned.
Yes.
And if you have an open eye and an open mindset and open ears, what more can you expect, right?
I completely agree.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Morten. Appreciate it.